So afternoon everybody, it's the 18th of December. I just got Ben here from TNS. We're just putting in some strengthening plates on the boom. They're like a modification that they do for Pommier booms, just for strength. We haven't actually got any cracking, it's preventative maintenance. So Ben's just here welding these in. I've just been going around with the grinder, just shining up the boom and that, for him to weld all these in so he gets good contact and the weld penetrates properly. So we're just giving that we've unfolded the sprayer in the shed here. Yeah, I've unfolded the sprayer in the shed here just because it's wet and windy outside and it's easy to do. Ben's just going over the sprayer. We've done the hub oils this morning on it, even though they're not due, but we tend to try and do them every 250 hours. And then he's just been, as I say, just doing this preventative maintenance just to try and reduce cracking. He's also ordered us some plates which sit in here to stop any dirt from the tyres flicking up, causing this bit of mud. It just collects mud and dirt and crap. So just to stop that. And then he's welded in some braces on the back here on the frame as well, just again to avoid any cracking or splitting out. He's also done some pipe work around by the induction bowl, the 2-inch hose coming out the back of the induction bowl to the main tank of the sprayer into the pump and that. Just renewed all that. So we're just literally, it's maintenance week. We're just going through, this is one of the vehicles of choice to go through and sort out, to be fair. Yeah, we've been ploughing and drilling this week for landlord where our main yard is at Royston, for Ralph Parker. So we just done, I think, about 200 acres of combi drilling for him, putting some X-days in. All the sugar beets now gone from Burwell. That finished going on Sunday into beet factory at Bury. So pleased about that. And very pleased to tell you that the sugar beet here has done an average of 104 tonnes a hectare this season. Some of it was lifted last couple of days of October, I think it was, and then the rest was lifted at around the 25th of November, somewhere around then. So yeah, and we've, as I say, we've averaged 104 tonnes, so over the moon with that, really, considering the year. Considering the rainfall and the year we've had, it's a tremendous effort, really. And also the wheat is now all up behind the sugar beet as well, which looks well. Yeah, so no, that looks well. We'll probably go and have a look at that in a minute. Matthew's telling me we've got to go and get my truck dirty, even though I washed it yesterday. So we'll go and have a look at that quickly. Sheep are doing well. They're still on the current 33 acres that I fenced them, the first 1,400, and the other 500 that come nearly 2 weeks ago now, this Monday coming. They're still on the 10 acres I fenced them, so they're doing really well. I worked out the other day we're now over £600 a hectare, what they've grossed in monetary value for the amount we've got and on the area that they're grazing, which is fantastic. So massive help after a pretty average year this year. So yeah, no, just basically it's a good time of year to get this all done. So then hopefully next spring we don't have any problems, any breakdowns, so it's all preventative maintenance really. I know it looks a bit savage, but it's just Ben said to me this is what they do now, just to strengthen up the Pommier booms. I know it looks a bit ugly where it's burnt in, but we'll just polish that up with the flappy paddle on the grinder like I've been doing, just to clean the boom up, and then next week I should give it all a wash once we've done all the maintenance and everything. So yeah, it's very busy at the moment in the digesters. We're just getting the levels down in at Refood and Hoddesdon and Severn Trent at the minute. Great team effort by everybody. They've all done a great job. So yeah, at the minute we've got Refood. They're completely empty, so we'll go back in there Sunday, and Refood as well. They're completely empty, so we'll be back in there Sunday. We've got the Christmas party tomorrow night, so everybody's worked well. Yeah, considering, you know, that it's this time of year and food waste generally is of high amounts this time of year because of Christmas parties and everything like that. And before anyone comments, I have had my safety goggles on for doing the grinding, so that's why they're just resting on the top of my head at the minute. So now, as you can see, I'll just show you around one of the vans here. This is Ben's van from TNS. He's fully loaded in here. All the chargers, drawers full of tools, socket sets, sprayer spares. So Ben solely does sprayers. That's all he works on, his Rogator sprayers. There's him and another chap at TNS. I've never met him before. And I think between them, they look after about 80 or something, 90 Rogator sprayers. From here to Ipswich to up into North Norfolk. So yeah, busy people, and hence why we're just doing this now, because hopefully it reduces the pressure on them at any breakdowns in the spring line. It is getting dark, but yeah, all the wheat is up. It's looking well. You can see the difference in variety. Look, right here we go. Can you see that join on your camera, Matt? There we go. Look, see the join in variety. Can you see that on the camera or not? You see it? Yeah. The difference. So that bit below is palladium, and the rest of it, that including the headland, is all X-days. So both for Group 2. Some job, Matt. Is that better? Can you see my beautiful face now, can you? My mum thinks I'm beautiful anyway, that's the main thing. And Winnie does. So this is where the sheep are in front at the minute. Open your window, Matt. Oh, there you go. You can see the sheep, they're really hitting the bulb now on the field bit. They've got a couple out there, but that's just standard sheep, pain in the arse. We'll get them back in a mo. So yeah, no, they're hitting the bulb hard now. This time next week, they'll have finished all of that, and we can move them onto a fresh fold ready for Christmas. So when we're having our turkey, they'll be having their turnips. Do well.
You love a bit of turkey.
Yeah, no, I don't eat turkey, to be fair. Who likes turkey? Would you go out for a Sunday roast on a Sunday and have turkey? No, you wouldn't. So why'd you have it at Christmas? Ridiculous. Is that beef? Lovely old job, or pork with a bit of crackling. Lovely job. So yeah, in answer to people's questions in the last video, I will talk to you about the costs of what it's cost me to run that quad track. A lot of you have got confused by spouting around, it's cost me 80,000 a year to keep it. I can assure you it hasn't, and I'll explain why. Because obviously a new one now is 500, but I obviously didn't pay 500,000 for the one I'm trying to sell. So when I finally sell it, and I've had a couple of offers and people are coming back to me with their thoughts, I will share in the new year with you the actual cost of running the 620 quad track over what, you know, and then we'll talk a bit about the new one we've got coming. But I'm not going to tell you about the new one until we've sold the old one, and leave it as a bit of a new year thing where leave you all hanging over Christmas and New Year. So yeah, but it hasn't done. And in another answer to someone else's question was, someone asked, do we keep all our machinery outside? Unfortunately, where we rent yards and that, we haven't got enough shed space to put all the machinery in. So we currently do have to have some machinery outside until we have, you know, got grain stores empty or whatever, and then we can start putting kit back in. Things like the slurry equipment, we finish using them sort of middle of October, and then now they're having maintenance done, and then they're back out again on the 15th of January. So there's not that long a period where they're actually outside, you know, getting the weather on them, because they're normally out most of the year, if you know what I mean, bar about 10 weeks. So yeah, combine's just being serviced at the minute, having some work done on it, some mods and that down at Crawford's, and there was a concrete lump went through it and damaged the trace in the drum, so it's just having some repairs done to that under the insurance. So yeah, maintenance is sort of in full swing at the minute. Well, we just got a couple of mouse lines I want to plough next week. Now all the sugar beet's gone, get them stitched in with the combi drill, and then we can get the moldboards on that greased up, and the plough gone through, ready for next season, which would be a good job. But we won't be having a lot of time off this Christmas. As I say, we've still got to keep these digesters empty, so in terms of days off that we'll have, obviously tomorrow and Saturday, and then Sunday back in, lorries moving digestate up till Christmas Eve lunchtime, sort of middle of the afternoon, and then Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then we're back in Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up till New Year's Eve night, New Year's Day off, and then back in the day on the 2nd, right through that weekend and right into the first week of January. So we are busy on, and it also helps with cash flow as well. So which is a good job as well. Keeps bringing money in, because if we keep taking out each week, it means we get money each Friday once the invoice is a month old, because we invoice weekly on those jobs. So that's another good job. Look how much water there is on the roads. Wild. So yeah, we've decided on all the cropping for next year. Obviously the winter cropping is in. We've got the maize sorted. Hopefully got a meeting early New Year with Jonathan Payne at Pretoria Energy, just to go through what variety of maize they want to grow for their plant, because obviously for them varieties, gas yields in cubic meters, I think it's cubic meters or litres per tonne they work on, depends on what variety you grow. So we'll be going through that in the new year. Yeah, and I hope that next year is a better year than this year's turned out. There's a couple of other things that I will let you all know that went badly this year in the new year, but I haven't got the final facts yet, so I don't want to spill any beans. But no, I've said to you all before, oilseed rape has been standout crop this year. We've averaged just over 4 tonnes, so about 4.18 or something tonnes a hectare, at £600 a tonne. So that's been a great crop for us. And also sugar beet. Sugar beet lifted between the 19th and 26th of September this year. That's averaged around about 82 on some farms and 89 on one farm. That's what we averaged on sugar beet on heavy land in September lift. And then, as I say, my stuff at Burwell, the lighter land stuff, lifted end of October, and in November has averaged 104. So unbelievable, really. A lot of it, I think the reason our beets yielded well, people might correct me, but my personal opinion is we were drilling on the 1st of March into moisture, and of course we didn't have a lot of rain after the 1st of March going forward, so that was drilled into moisture, and it struck and got away, and we didn't suffer from any late frosts. It was a bit chilly when we were putting it in, because if you remember back in 1st of March when Matthew was out filming Yanis on the drill, I had my coat on and my flat cap, which meant it was cold. So obviously not ideal temperatures, but from then on it warmed up. We didn't have a lot of rain, and I think that's why the beet have done well, because we didn't lose any moisture. So any bit of moisture that was there, and then they've kept having rain. Also, we used a product from Syngenta called New Venimo, which is like a bacteria biostimulant type thing, and we sprayed that on the beet when they were at 12 leaves, just before we had, after a rain, just before we had our next hot spell, and I personally think that on the heavy land, because that's where we used it, because it was being early lifted, I personally think that's where the yields come, because anybody else who lifted in September on heavy clay, I don't think they've done in the 80s on yield. I think it's more sort of 70, 72, 68, somewhere around there. And we use this New Venimo, and it's the only thing we did different to everybody, and we've sort of done 12 tonnes a hectare more, which is sort of like a 10 to 15% increase in yield, which is phenomenal. But this is what they do sort of suggest, Syngenta, these are the yields you can get, but it's about spraying it at the right time, the bacteria, pre-mixing it in warm water to activate the bacteria before you put it in the sprayer, and also spraying it at a certain time of day when the stomatas on the plant are open. So the plant will take in the bacteria, which then works within the plant. And what we did find when we had drier, droutier periods through the growing season was the leaves didn't fall flat on the ground, you know, show signs of stress and drought. Don't get me wrong, we had patches, you know, little patches or bits under trees where there was, like, you know, the hedges or trees had taken every single little bit of moisture out of the ground. But as a whole, I'd say 95% of the fields, the leaves still stood up even when it was lovely, hot, sunny weather. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the agronomist thinks to that theory. And yeah, I hope. And if you can also please hit the subscribe button. I think this year, I think we've sort of doubled our subscribers, so we're just over 7,000 now. We were 3,500, I think, this time last year. So if you haven't subscribed, and it's free to do it, just hit that subscribe button on the bottom of this video, and that'll be much appreciated. Then you'll get notified of any forward videos that we do. So yeah, and once again, happy Christmas everybody, and we'll try and get a video in between Christmas and New Year, but we'll see how we go, see what Mad Matt, see if he's eating too much turkey or not, whether he can move, or whether I can move, should we say. So yeah, no, happy Christmas, and go well everyone. Thank you, cheers, bye.